A Vaughan woman is warning people about a disease that took the life of her beloved dog and says there's not enough awareness about how prevalent it is in Ontario and how easy it is to catch.
I don't think I've ever seen a poster in a clinic, any of the clinics, my regular vet, the emergency clinics, about leptospirosis and the dangers of it. All you see is, ticks, fleas, and heartworm.
Helen De Silva's 6-year-old Maltese Charlie was diagnosed with the infectious bacterial disease after she noticed her food-loving dog refused to eat. Tests revealed problems with his kidneys, one of the most common impacts of leptospirosis on dogs, and he was put on dialysis.
And just when we thought that he was going to make it, unfortunately, he didn't. He died. My family's heartbroken.
The bacteria can be passed on to humans. An infectious disease specialist, Dr. Scott Weiss, explains that it's carried by wild animals like raccoons, skunks, rats, and possums, and is eliminated in their urine.
The leptospira bacterium, it likes moist environments, so water or wet areas. So if the bacterium is peed out and it's an area that stays fairly moist, that bacterium will stay there and a dog can encounter it.
He says that many decades ago, larger dogs that lived in rural or farm areas were considered high risk, but it is now also common in small urban dogs.
And they've got a small green space where they go out to run around and pee. And what happens at night? Well, a lot of raccoons come out and do the same thing. So we're really condensing the contact between wildlife and our pets.
Leptospirosis is treatable when caught early, and there is a vaccine for it. Weiss says that dog vaccines are categorized globally as core or elective. Core vaccines are those needed by all dogs everywhere, like distemper or parvovirus. Electives are based on risk exposure.
For lepto, there are some really dry areas of the world where it's not much of a concern. That's not Ontario. So I consider it endemic. Anywhere in Ontario, we'll see lepto. So I consider it a core vaccine for any dog in Ontario.
The Toronto Humane Society's chief veterinary officer, Dr. Karen Ward, says in the past there were some concerns about giving the lepto vaccine to smaller dogs.
Smaller dogs have a higher incidence of vaccine reaction than larger dogs. And we used to think that the lepto vaccine was more likely to be a vaccine that you would have an adverse reaction to. Those vaccines have really evolved over time, and now they are very, very safe.
De Silva's other dog, Mia, has now been vaccinated for lepto, and she says more needs to be done to let both vets and pet owners know that learnings about the disease and the vaccine have evolved.
There has to be a larger body that takes responsibility for this and brings awareness to the public.
Now, when it comes to vaccine guidelines and awareness in Canada, there is no single authority, but experts like Dr. Weiss gather recommendations from places like the American Animal Hospital Association and the World Small Animal Veterinary Association to help people make informed decisions for their pets. For City News, I'm Dilshad Burman.